Hey guys, welcome to the channel. This is Bolt from the Blue Tarot. My name is Sam. I'm an intuitive reader and I channel messages for your highest good and the highest good of all. I started this channel to practice my own abilities and spread messages of love and hope. Other readers and intuitives have helped me and encouraged me so much on my own journey. I've listed their channel handles in the description, so there might be some folks there you want to check out. If you dig my energy or these messages feel resonant to you, stick around. Like, subscribe to put more of my messages from this frequency onto your feed. Today, I'm going to get a thematic energy for this reading from this deck. It's called the Oracle of Destiny. And this is written and illustrated by two different people, but I love the illustrations on this. I'm a sucker for decks that have like bright candy colors, Adventure Time kind of vibes. So that's this deck. It's based on palmistry. So every card tells you a little bit about palmistry and different parts of the hand and what they foretell. But I mostly intuitively work with the art. It's very, very pretty. All right. Message, please, Spirit, for this collective. Journeys. I love this card. I get big Doctor Strange from this, with portals and doorways opening up in like an MC Escher kind of environment. So this message is about going places. I mostly think of these journeys as internal to your own mind. But let's see what the book has to say about this one. I challenge you to just attune to the frequency of this card. Just be in that journey space. So, the Journeys card. The answer right now is to change the landscape. Do it through an archaeological expedition, a fun outing, a spiritual pilgrimage, or a philosophy conference. The need is the same, to set out in search of discoveries. All right. So this is for a collective journeying towards discovery. Let's figure out what you might encounter. So again, I'm using my current favorite deck. It's relatively new to me, but I really love it. If you have been called to Egyptian energy recently, this is a great one to check out. So this is based on the original, like the first codified occult tarot from the 1780s in France, from a guy called Comte de Maillet and Robert M. Place, the author and illustrator, creator of this deck, recreated it, but with an Egyptian slant. So it's very different from the tarot that we think of today. Lots of versions just based on the Smith-Waite, the Rider-Waite version. But this comes a lot earlier, and the symbols are different. And they've been filtered through a couple of people, which I really like. It's nice to have something different every now and then. Ooh, so we have Three of Swords to start out. Nine of Swords. Six of Cups. The Lady of Batons. This is the Queen of Wands. So, the Three of Swords in this deck is... it's what it looks like. It's being stabbed in the back. This is emotional... the emotional wounds that result as well. The Nine of Swords here is up there with the worst cards in this deck. Most of the swords in this deck are not great, but this is ongoing tragedy, illness, disease in the sense of dis-ease, right? And emotional wounds that are being carried from this backstabbing. And the Six of Cups in this deck is like a generous woman, a generous person. But if you can see, she's sort of throwing coins onto the ground. So this can mean, in this case, I think, because of what's happened to you in the past, this backstabbing, what's happened to this collective, and the emotional wounds you've been carrying, trauma even from this. Like, you are a bountiful, magical person. You are beautiful. You are filled with, like, spirit speaks through you. You are joy. You are life. You're just this effervescent energy is what I'm getting from you. Like a child of the universe. But due to these past woundings, you're giving your power away over generously. Like, you're spending too much of your energy where it ought not to be spent. Casting pearls before swines. You are so generous that you're giving to everyone else all the time of your own beautiful energy, which I have learned for myself you have to conserve. You can still be very generous with your energy and conserve some for yourself. There's no selfishness there, not in the pejorative. Like, it's actually good for people like this to focus on being more, quote, selfish, right? Keeping your energy your own so that you can create something beautiful for yourself and fill your own cup, all six of them. Because once you've filled your own cup, it can overflow into other people's. But if you allow it to do so before your own cup is full, you'll always be depleted. You'll always be walking around with these holes in your energetic pockets, coins falling everywhere you go. And other people are only too happy to take those coins, right? They might not even consciously know that they are. But this reading ends really well. The Queen of Wands is my favorite queen. She's magical and fiery. She knows her own power and she uses it wisely. She can create, the click of her fingers, right? She's lightning in a bottle. And this particular Queen of Wands, the Lady of Batons, is a faithful woman as well. So she's true. And in this case, I'm getting true to yourself, right? When you turn your energy inward, instead of allowing it to radiate outwards, when you make yourself a circuit with your own beautiful energy feeding back into yourself and replenishing yourself, what you will find is there is no end to your magic, right? You can actually help more people from this space, this place of power, because what you have is power. It might seem gentle. Other people might underestimate it, but that's their mistake, because it is the most fundamental creative energy. And it's beautiful, right? So, I think for some of you, this is indicating some shadow work to move past these things. If it's subconscious, then, that takes time. But once you do, and you start holding on to these coins, you will become the Lady of Batons. And your power will know no bounds, truly. And you'll be able to help way more people than you are now by people-pleasing or ensuring that everyone is comfortable and giving away your own energy just to maintain the energy of others or to right the energy of others, right? And something that we don't realize before we get this crown is that in energetically taking care of other people's dis-ease, we actually rob them of the opportunity to learn how to do that for themselves. And this is one of the most key lessons in life, especially right now. We're all distracted in a million different directions, and no one wants to turn inward. We're not encouraged to. It actually benefits a lot of people in power that we don't, right? So don't feed into it. Teach by example. And if you lead a horse to water and you find that they continually choose not to drink, that's not your problem. You tried, move on. Focus on you, because you are full of potential. They are as well. They just have to do the work to realize it, like you are. All right, this is nice. I just want to see, can we clarify, Spirit, anything else about the Three of Swords and the Nine of Swords here? Justice. I love this Justice card. So she wears this crown that symbols she is under the protection of the gods. That her justice is divine. So divine justice is being brought to this dis-ease. And this can be through your own realization of this and balancing out of this, your own healing. Or if this is a situation, this may be indicative that justice is being brought. If you realize this and you bring your own energy inwards, you might start to feel, you will second guess yourself. You'll feel this is selfish, etc., etc. But it's not when all your life other people have been taking your beautiful energy and you're no longer giving it to them. that's actually justice, right? It's justice for you. And by putting yourself in that place of power, you can help more people. It's not selfish in the pejorative. When you improve yourself, you improve the entire world. So clarifying the Six of Cups and the Lady of Batons, just giving us some more context information or whatever, is this next version of the star card. Aquarius. He's pouring these waters in. And my interpretation of this is usually the deep mind, the subconscious. So this whole process is bringing deep healing to you subconsciously, but also potentially to the shared subconscious of humanity, right? And to your lineage, to wounds that run very, very deep. A lot of these things we inherit or are patterns that are played out across generations. So whatever this is, your ancestors are familiar with it deeply in their own sense, their own way. It might have played out differently for them, but they know what this is. And they've got to be so proud of you for choosing to tackle this. If you're seeing this and you're like, oh, I know what this is, I need to do some work on it. I can't tell you how proud that would make them, how pleased. Because when you heal them, when you heal yourself, you're not only healing yourself, you're also healing everyone around you. You're healing every human on the planet, and you're healing your ancestors who are living on through you. You're ending a cycle, as we recently did with Pluto moving out of Capricorn and into Aquarius. This is the dawning, you guys. All right. So, how are you going to go about this? Or how have you already been going about this? Through journeys. And I do think these are mostly internal. But if this is subconscious, there may be some places in the past you need to visit, some parts of your mind and memories that you wouldn't necessarily want to visit. They're not an ideal destination, but they will yield tremendous magical power for you. They will help to heal the world if you are brave enough to go in and address them. All right. Let's see if we can get you some other advice. This is from a deck of stories that I enjoy, and I feel these are mostly channeled. And I use this for myself, to get advice for myself, but sometimes it's this will tell you the story of what is happening or what needs to happen. But stories can give us some real concrete advice and help us to learn lessons that we couldn't otherwise without going through something similar. So, okay, well, this is pretty fitting for this card. So, Sherlock Holmes in the Mind Palace. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the Benedict Cumberbatch version of Sherlock Holmes, but they do this very visceral illustration of his mind palace, where he goes within his own mind and picks apart details to solve cases and stuff, and remember old memories, things that his subconscious noticed, but he maybe didn't fully at the time, or just to connect dots that he hadn't in the past. So real Benedict Cumberbatch energy with this. We got Doctor Strange and Sherlock Holmes in the Mind Palace, but I I made lots of different versions of the Hermit card. If you guys are familiar with the tarot, the Hermit is like go inwards and solitude, and sometimes I want to pick them apart because I'm an introvert, and solitude is no problem, but the going within is, I groan as much as anyone else, so I like to tease them apart and see, like, well, do you want me to, am I supposed to be alone, or do I also have to do like meditation and heavy energetic and emotional work? This card is the Hermit in the sense of going within, so sorry to be the bearer of that news, but I think with this reading you already knew. So meditate, self-hypnosis, if you're into that, can really help with a lot of these subconscious problems. Also subliminals, audio subliminals. You can find some really good ones on YouTube. Just make sure that you can read a transcript of what they've put into the subliminals. Don't listen to one if you don't know. If there's not a transcript, then my recommendation is don't listen to it. Sometimes they put them in the comments or the description of the video. But yeah, this is, if any of you shamanic journey or astral travel, this also calls for that, as a method of self-exploration that could help you step into your power here. Yeah, all right, let's see. You are going on a voyage of discovery. Whatever you find inside will be extremely useful. And I always go into experiences like this thinking, like, this is going to be so intense. And sometimes it is, but a lot of times it isn't. It's just like, no, you had to remember this one thing and feel it. And it actually wasn't that intense. It was just blocked, So don't be too intimidated by this. And if you're stepping into it and wondering, like, Sam, I have no idea how to do this work, please know, I don't either, okay? Truly, like, different strokes for different folks when it comes to this stuff, and the key is going to be your intuition. If all you do is close your eyes, watch your breath, and set the intention to have these things shown to you, to see what you need to see, you'll get a lot farther than a lot of people have gotten in their lifetime in terms of unraveling this. So believe in your own power, ask to be shown, believe in the power of your own mind, because it truly is the power of your own mind that got you into this situation in the first place. That's not a blame thing. It's just like these mechanisms our mind creates to protect us, right? But the only power that can undo it is the power that created it. It's your own mind. And that should show you that, yes, there is a lock, but you're the key maker, right? You have all the keys. It's just about finding the right one and unlocking that door on your journeys. Oh, this is really beautiful. I think people don't really understand, unless they've done it, how difficult this is. And you don't really ever get thanks. So if you're sitting watching this and thinking, this is really hard, and I just need someone to appreciate it, please know from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Thank you for doing this work. It benefits everyone, and I am so proud of you for doing it. So, so proud. All right, let's see if we can get another piece of advice for you. Okay, LeVar Burton at the library. This is Reading Rainbow. A lot of the cards I've written, a lot of different advice and connotations and stuff for the story, but this one just says, take a look, it's in a book. So if there is a book that you're being intuitively pointed towards, read it. Even if you don't think it's related to this stuff, it most likely will be. Even if it's fiction, there will be something in the story that will help with this. Just keep looking for the lessons. Don't force this. You can spend a lot of time on a lot of books that won't help. But if you have this like weird desire to read this particular book, do it. Do it. You might think it's only tangentially related to this, but it can be one of those things. It's like narrowing down the correct key, and it will help you do that. So many good books out there. So many good stories. All right, guys, this was really lovely. Thank you for spending this time with me, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.